Governor Abbott asked the White House for a federal disaster declaration before the winter storm even hit, and the feds could take it even further. Tiffany Craig connects the dots on what it all means.
Texas is a disaster area and help is on the way, but more help could be available thanks to a major disaster declaration. So how does that work? Let's connect the dots. The president can make two different declarations in a catastrophe, an emergency declaration and a major disaster declaration. Both authorize the president to provide federal assistance, but the type of emergency that sparks the declaration and the assistance given are different. One thing that's the same, the governor usually has to ask for help. In an emergency declaration, the federal government helps out state and local governments. In a disaster declaration, the feds help the state and local governments, plus the actual people on the ground suffering through the disaster. So what kind of help can victims get? It depends on what the governor asks for, but it can include everything from crisis counseling, legal assistance, and emergency repairs. When it comes to fixing damage in homes, the Small Business Administration can provide loans. And for everyone who doesn't qualify, the Individual and Household Program can jump in, giving money for repairs and temporary housing. But a word of warning, while all this help is great, it comes with a lot of red tape. Connecting the dots, I'm Tiffany Craig for H-Town Rush.